Good afternoon, Gulf Coast fans. We are back, episode 3. And you saved and you thought we wouldn't make it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Crescent City Connection. I'm your host, T5. And on today's show, we're going to get into some Saints football. We're almost here, baby. None of that week 0 stuff around here, baby. We're almost here. And then we're going to spin the cut and talk a little college. Week 0 in the books. We had some Tulane football go down. We had some UL Monroe we're going to talk about. And of course, we're going to preview Saturday's big matchups. And of course, Sunday, the big show. LSU, USC, in Vegas, baby. Yeah. And then we're going to round things out from spinning the cut back to New Orleans and talk a little Pelicans basketball. Joshua, Abraham, Hart, I'm going to need you to come to the front of the classroom. I need you to come to the principal's office right away, sir. Me and you we got to talk. But all that and more on today's show. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Crescent City Connection, your new home for Louisiana sports. Powered by IE Sports, your direct feed. All that is sports. Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It is your very unprepared host of the Crescent City Connection. I'm T5. You're the Crescent City Connection, your new home for Louisiana, all Louisiana sports, baby. And we're powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. And hey, it's been a shaky morning, but we here, episode 3. And they say it wouldn't last. Anyway, we're here this morning, man. We're here. We're alive and kicking. Man, as we said at the preview, Saints football. We're back, baby. We're going to talk a little 53-man roster. Some prizes. We're going to talk about practice squad. Man, we're going to give my personal bold and ballsy predictions for the 2024 season. We're going to have a little fun, man. The thoughts and comments of myself do not reflect those of IE Sports Radio. It could get a little spicy in here. Okay. Just letting y'all know. And of course, we're going to dip on over and talk a little college. None of that week 0 stuff. We're back, baby. We're in here, man. We waited a while. It took a while, but we're here. College football's back. Tulane, hey, some of these overachievers started early. Tulane, early. Southeastern, early. But it's all gravy. It was a great game. They had fun uptown. If you were a Tulane fan. Sorry, Southeastern. Didn't work out for you. And we're going to talk a little UL Monroe and Jackson State without Dion. Let's see how that worked out for them. And, of course, we're going to preview some of the other college matchups going on as of right now. A bunch of these games are going on tonight. And, of course, big-time matchup, LSU, USC, Vegas, baby. It's prime time, man. They're putting us on the big stage. And then we're going to dip on over in our last segment. We're going to talk a little Pelicans basketball. And I'm going to need one Joshua Hardenberg Hart to come to the principal's office. We've got to talk because apparently you've been a little naughty boy talking some stuffs. And if you know, you know. If you don't know, stick around because we're going to fill you in with some choice comments young Mr. Hart had to say. But before we do any of that, I'm going to need you to do me a solid. Need you to do me a real solid. I'm going to need you to follow us on all our socials. We're on X. Not really on X, but we're on X. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter, TikTok, MySpace, Tinder, Christian Singles. I think we're on there. Anyway, follow us on our socials. Give us a like, follow, subscribe. Well, we do interesting stuff. And of course, you can find any of our shows, especially mine, on all your podcasts, all the places you get your podcasts. Apple, iHeartRadio, X, YouTube, Spreaker, all those wonderful places you get your popular podcasts. We're on there too. We're up and coming, baby. We're live. And I need you to follow us on the socials. Crescent City Connection _IE. Then you can follow me on my personal one. Who that? Sorry, wrong person. Who is T Fizzle? And are both on X. And of course, follow us on IE Sports Radio, where you can find all our channels, all our shows, not just mine. Find out our schedules, bios, etc., on iesportsradio.com. And guess what? We got merch, t-shirts, hats, hoodies, the whole shebang. Go on iesportsradio /shop, and you can catch all our merch. Be the flyest person in the car ride line at your kid's school. Go to the gym looking fly and fresh. I need to get me some of this merch, man, so I can fashion off some of this. But you can also go to our personal bios, see our personal bios on IE Sports Radio. Mine's Crescent City. What's right here? iesportsradio.com /the Crescent City Connection, where you can find about me, find out about my hopes, my dreams, what I like to do on the off time. Not really, but important stuff. Not only that, but we'd like to give a little shout out to the people that keep the heat and the lights on. Our lovely sponsors. We got sponsors. Planet Jerky, premium brisket beef jerky. I need to get myself a sponsorship with them. Who I have to talk to about getting myself a little hookup. But if you're a beef jerky person like me, Planet Jerky beef jerky is the way to go. And Seal the Deal wax seals. When you get yourself some fly seal, you like to be fancy, like to freshen up your packages and your letters. Seal the Deal wax seals is the way to go. But before we dive into it, before we go 10 toes down, we're going to hear from our sponsors. And when we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk a little Saints football. Actually, we're going to talk a lot of Saints football because a lot of stuff happened in the span of a week. The 53-man roster's out, practice squad, comings and goings. We got a lot to get into. First, we're going to hear from those sponsors. Then we're going to be back. This is the Crescent City Connection, your new home for Louisiana sports on IE Sports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports. Yes, sir.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
Man, that music is catchy, yeah. Well, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Planet Jerky Brisket Beef Jerky. I'm going to keep on harping on this every show until I get my sponsorship. I want my care package. I want some beef jerky, man. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you to our sponsors, Planet Jerky. Man, I need to get some of that beef jerky in my life. And of course, Seal the Deal Wax Seals. I like to be fancy. If you like to be fancy like me, you like to be a little Riverdale kid every once in a while and send something fancy to someone and toss your hair around, your imaginary hair around. Hey, Seal the Deal Wax Seals is the way to do it, ladies and gentlemen. So, give them a follow, give them a look-see, and tell them OT5 sent you. Anyway, as we were saying, we're going to get into it. Saints football. We're back, baby. 53-man roster came in today. Cut times. Yeah, all the ops. This was Christmas for the ops. They were out here. Who they cutting? They cutting? They cutting them? They cut? Who they cut? Who they cut? Yeah, Philadelphia, Detroit, old Coach Sean Payton over there in Denver. You know you was a look-a-hooing, waiting. Oh, they cut? Who they cut? Who they cut? Who they cut? Who they cut? Yeah, this was y'all day today. Y'all was look-a-hooing, hoping we was gonna cut some nice gems. Y'all had y'all little picnic basket out there ready to go leech off us. Yeah, vultures. I'm just joking. I got a joke. I kid. Anyway, the Saints had their 53-man roster cut down very quickly. It didn't take long, actually. Usually takes a span of a couple of days. But like the way that the league's doing now, Folks is cutting teams down. Wham! They're cutting them down quick. So I just happen to have said 53-man roster. And of course I'm going to deliver it to you, because that's what I do. It wouldn't be much of a show if I didn't. All right, folks. Starting with the quarterbacks. We have one Derek Carr, Jake Hayner. They got Taysom Hill listed as here, but we all know Taysom Hill is more of a jack of all trades. We have the young rookie, Spencer Rattler. Spencer for hire. I'm still making that a thing. I'm still pushing that. Spencer for hire or the Rattler. Let me know which one y'all like in the comments. We have running backs. AK-41, Alvin Kamara. Technically, Kendre Miller, though he has been put on IR, so he'll be missing for at least 4 games tops. But who won't be missing 4 games tops? One, Jordan Mims. That boy took full advantage of that time Kendre Miller missed and made him some coin. Congratulations to that dude making the 53. And of course, Swag Kage, Jamal Williams, he's on there. And fullback Adam Prentice. Wide receivers. This is a bit of a surprise to some people. We have Bob Means, the rookie. Chris Olave. Second-year receiver A.T. Perry. The speedster Rashid Shaheed. But Cedric Wilson Jr., first year, for us at least, he's this first year with us. But now here's where the surprise comes in. Undrafted receiver Mason Tipton from Yale, the Yale product. He had a real good, solid camp, and they liked him, so they kept him. Tight ends. We have Juwan Johnson, Foster Morrow, and surprising to no one, Darren Holker, undrafted free agent. Congratulations, dude. And we have O-line, Eric McCoy, Cesar Ruiz, Lucas Patrick, Chandler Brewer, Taliese Fawaga, Trevor Penning, Nick Saldiveri, Oli Udo, and Landon Young. Now for the defense, we have Isaiah Foskey, Carl Grando Granderson, Trajan Jeffcoat, Cam Jordan, who my pops likes to call Ted Turner, Peyton Turner, and Tano Passigno, who of course we know is on IR, and new New Orleans Saint Chase Young. Defensive tackles, we have Brian Brzee, Colin Saunders, Nathan Shepard, and new guys, rookie Christian Boyd, Cameron Peterson, and Kendall Vickers, who, as of right now, got moved to the practice squad. Linebackers, Demario Davis, Pete Warner, Willie Gay Jr., and the new guys. We have Jalen Ford, the rookie. We have DeMarco Jackson, I believe, second year. Anthony Orji made a big splash in preseason, so he made the team. And Nephi Sewell. Now, probably our strongest part of a team, the secondary. We have Marshawn Lattimore, Alante Taylor, Somebody's missing. They're messed up. Somebody's missing. Marshawn Lattimore, Lontae Taylor, Paulson Adebo, Kool-Aid McKinstry, the rookie, and undrafted rookie, Rico Payton. That man made a huge splash in preseason. And safeties, we have Will Harris, JT Gray, Jordan Howden, and the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. Special teams, Blake Grupe, and new punter, Matthew Highball. And we're going to talk a little about that too. And of course, long snapper, Zach Wood. And that makes out your 53-man roster. But I know you're thinking, wow, there's a lot of names we left off. Yeah, because we were waiting to see, man. They had a couple of big names that we were, some of the Saints fans were hoping would make the 53 and did not make the 53. But we were able to retain some of them on ye old practice squad. We have Jonathan Abram, who a lot of people thought was going to be fighting for the starting spot. Apparently, he did not. But we were able to bring him back on the practice squad. Ugo Amadi, who was in that corner rotation and corner/safety rotation, he ended up getting beat out, but we were able to bring him back. Kevin Austin Jr., who had it up and down camp at that wide receiver spot, but he had a nice little rapport with Spencer Rattler in a couple of good games here and there in the preseason. We brought him back. Safety Miller Bradford, tackle Josiah Israel, tight end Mason Fairchild, guard Kyle Herbal, linebacker Kaliki Hudson, tight end Michael Jacobson, running back Jacob Kabodi. Now, a lot of people were kind of miffed that we didn't put him on the main roster because he had a real good last preseason game. He had the game of his life. So it's good to see him back on the practice squad just in case, somebody, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, isn't able to go. Kendre Miller. We got defensive end Nico Lawless, who also made a big impression on fans. Guard/center Shane Lemieux. Kicker Charlie Smith from Ireland, from the football foreign exchange little program they got going. We were able to bring him back. Now, there's a certain kind of exemption that doesn't go against the practice squad. So technically, he doesn't count against the practice squad. So we have another spot open. And that spot was filled by Kendall Vickers. Isaiah Stahlberg, linebacker. Equanimous St. Brown, wide receiver. And, of course, the aforementioned Kendall Vickers. And that is the practice squad. Now, a couple of takeaways. I thought for sure Jonathan Abrams was going to be fighting with Jordan Howden for that starting safety spot next to Honey Badger. But apparently he did not. But we were able to retain him on the practice squad, which is cool. Another bit of a surprise, Mason Tipton. He had a real good camp, but he got injured a little, and he didn't play any preseason games. But he made enough of an impression for the Saints to put him on the main 53. So I hope we get to see him sooner rather than later. No rushing back too early, but that was a bit of a surprise because he was out here making plays like every week in Irvine, California. Also, Rico Payton, man, that dude made play after play after play every week. Oh, every preseason game. Last preseason game, dude had a sack. Bro, we get it. You want to make the team. We get the point, bro. We definitely wasn't putting him on waivers because he wasn't making it back. Sorry, let's be real, man. He wasn't making it back. He wasn't gonna be nah. I don't trust. Nah. So once again, the corner position of the defense, hell, of the team, is the most depth, the strongest position of the team. And I'm here for it because, the league's beginning pass happy. So when you think, we have all these wide receivers, you're like, so we got all these corners. Darn it. Drat, foiled again. Yeah, so it pays to have all those dudes. And I'm here for it. Whoa. Definitely a surprise. The kicking, the punting position. The question is, did Matthew Highball win the position, or did Lou Headley lose the position? Because Lou Headley looked real shaky, man. Some of those punts looked real shaky compared to what he was doing last year. So, they brought in competition. Another Australian kicker. Go figure. And Matthew Highball, not for nothing, looked way better. So I say it's a little bit of both. That Lou Headley lost the job, but also Matthew Highball earned the job. And Blake Groupie fended off the young Charlie Smith, who is on the practice squad. So don't get comfortable, homie. The job, you won the job, but let's just say the 53-man roster is not written in stone. Let's just say it's a dry erase board. Let's put it that way. Because the roster we got now is not going to be the roster we have for the rest of the season. As a matter of fact, we tried to make a couple of waiver claims ourselves. We tried to get wide receiver / kick returner. I'm gonna butcher this name, and I've been practicing too. Kene Nwangu, former Minnesota Vikings, all-pro kick returner. This boy was a beast. He was a bad boy, and I was looking hyped. I was pretty hyped to get him on the team, thinking of all the stuff that we could do on special teams and the stuff that Clint Kubiak could do with him in the offense. And that lasted for about a buck. That lasted for about a cup of coffee. Because come to find out, he failed his physical. So we will not be getting his services. Now, that doesn't close the door on him. I mean, depending on what he had, because apparently he had a lot of back injuries last year that kept him out of a lot of games. So depending on what the situation is, I guess the Saints didn't like what they saw in his physicals. So depending on what the situation is, we could try to get him back later if it heals up. But as of right now, didn't work out, brother. Didn't work out. I was all hyped too. I went and saw his Iowa State film from college, and boy, I was hyped. I saw his stuff from the Vikings running kicks back, and I was super hyped. And come to find out, hype for nothing, man. Hype for nothing. But it's all good. And we tried to get a corner. Man, I forgot Cat's name, but this dude was red hot. He wasn't letting nobody catch on him in the preseason. But of course, waiver wires, the waiver order, Carolina Panthers, you guys sucked the most, so you were first, and guess who happened to get them? Mm-hmm. So more power to you. But it's all gravy. It's all good. Oh, but we were able to make a trade with the Washington Barnyard Commandos for defensive tackle Josh Ridgway. They sent us. We sent them a 6th-round pick. They sent us Ridgway and a 7th. I like it. Colin Saunders is going to be banged up a little bit for a couple of games. Jonathan Ridgway, comes in as more of a run-stopping defensive tackle, which we needed to improve on, stopping the run. So that helps, and it makes sense. So I'm here for it. And it was a 6th-round pick, fluff them picks, as we like to say around here, fluff them picks. So, hey, anything to help that defense out, more power to it. Are we done with roster moves? Probably not. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Rattler versus Hayner. That was fun. Wow. Spencer Rattler took one hand on the bull, other hand on the bull, and stared that bad boy down that last game. Man, Spencer Rattler, he made a real case for himself to be the number 2. Even though I like Jake Hayner, Spencer really made a real big case, real good case to be the number 2. Now, Dennis Allen hasn't come out and said, this, that, and other, who's going to be number 2, who's going to be number 3. He said it's still fluid. It's still ongoing. And I'm like, all right, I see what you're doing. Bro. All right, because we for one, we're hoping neither one of them got to come in. We're hoping the offensive line keeps Derek Carr upright and he's spinning the ball right. But in the event, we would like to know just who would be coming in. My money and most fans' money is on Spencer. That dude he has the it that fans have been looking for. The swagger, the it, and the dimes he's been dropping dimes. We be dropping dimes. That dude was dropping dimes in the corner, man. Whoo, boy. With a little bit more seasoning and, a couple of years experience, that boy can be the one. I'm just saying, man. Hey. That ain't nothing. If you think that takes something, where do you hear my 5 ballsy, bold predictions, the B&B predictions, man? Let's get into that. My 5 to round things out for the Saints, for our Saints segment. Let's talk my 5 ballsy, bold predictions. Let's have a little fun. Number 5, we'll have 2,000-yard receivers, Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed. Number 4, we'll have a top 10 pass rush led by Carl Granderson. Carl, get up, big guy. Hey, big guy. Carl Granderson and Chase Young. Chase has a big chip on his shoulder, and a lot of people have been talking reckless about him, oh, man, that kid's a bust. He takes time off. So he's coming in with a real big chip on his shoulder. Now, I'm here for it. Number 3, Derek Carr will be top 10 in passing yards, That's not far-fetched because last year, believe it or not, he finished at 13. Hmm, 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 hmm. Go figure, huh? Finish 13, huh? So finishing the top 10, new offense with a competent offensive coordinator. Finishing top 10, not so far-fetched, is it? Number 2, we will be this is where we start to get real spicy now. These last 2 ballsy bold predictions. The Saints will be undefeated at home. Dome field advantage returns, baby, with this defense and the offense being at least competent. We can return dome field advantage. I'm gonna need the Crescent City connection, the Who Dat Nation. I'm gonna need y'all to come in full force and do y'all job and return home field, dome field advantage. Let's go. And numero uno, the Saints will win the NFC South and will win at least a playoff game. Not too far-fetched because look at the other teams. Carolina, Atlanta, yeah, you got Captain Kirk, but and you added some new defensive pieces, but Tampa Bay, really? So the NFC South is up for grabs. Once you get your foot in the door, it's all downhill from there. And there's not really a real strong number 2 or number 3 team in the NFC South. In the NFC period. There's nobody really like in the AFC like everybody's saying is the Kansas City Chiefs and everybody else. In the NFC, there's nobody like not even San Francisco. San Francisco, hey. They're not you saw what happened to them in the playoffs. Yeah, they're not exactly that. Yeah, they're sort of strong. They don't have a chokehold on the NFC like that. So if you can get your foot in the door, get you a home field game in the playoffs, like Kevin Garnett said, anything's possible. And of course, we all know Super Bowl in New Orleans. Hey, those are my 5 ballsy, bold predictions for the New Orleans Saints in the 2024 season. If you have your own bold and ballsy predictions, leave them in the comment section. If you agree, disagree, think I'm crazy, think I'm wild, whatever, leave it in the comment section. We love to hear it. We love to hear what you're saying. We love to hear what you're thinking. And that's going to do it for Saints camp. We have like a couple of days off. The Saints have a couple of days off, and then they'll be back in the lab, I believe, Wednesday, prepping for week 1. Carolina, we need you to come to the front of the class, Carolina. Come on. And we're going to get into that next week. And that's it for Saints Talk. Nice talk. Glad to have you here. But when we return, we're going to get into a little college. Yeah. We're back, baby. None of this week 0 stuff. Nah, man. We is 10 toes down in the weeds. Saturdays are back. College football, baby. And we have a couple of overachievers that started early. Go figure. We're going to talk a little college football when we return. Here, the Crescent City Connection, your new home for Louisiana sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Now, we're going to hear for our lovely sponsors. Thank you.
What's up, New York? This is Ricky K coming at you with the NY State of Sports, a new show here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Listen to me every Thursday afternoon as we bring you the latest takes on the Yankees, Mets, Jets, Giants, Knicks, Nets, Rangers, Devils, and Islanders. Plus, you get some college hoops and what's the local sports events going on in the area. It's a state that never sleeps, so why not get the opinions and sports takes that never sleep? Again, every Thursday, 2 p.m. to the NY State of Sports. We'll see you then.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the iSports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop, including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to have to ask you to do me a solid and follow those other shows on IE Sports Radio, New York State of Mind. More, hey, I love NY. They produce some fine content for us to consume in the media, in the sports world. The Yankees when they're winning or losing, the Mets whether they're winning or losing. The Giants, hey, they got my homie league neighbors, man. I'm gonna have to keep a lookout. I'm gonna keep a track of y'all, man. Hey. But follow the other shows on iesportsradio.com, your direct feed for all that is sports. And as promised before the break, we're gonna talk a little college. We're back, baby. Saturdays are back. Man, we were going through it. We were going through withdrawals like, oh man. I need my college football. I need some Dr. Pepper, man. I need tailgating. We was going through it. We were going through it, but we survived, baby, and we're back. None of that week zero weirdness and stuff. We is 10 toes down. We are here, baby. College football is back. And we had a couple of overachievers decide they were going to start early on Thursday. Tulane, Green Wave, and Southeastern. Man, Tulane, they've been the home team for a long time. Y'all had me torn this week. Who told y'all to go against my alma mater, Southeastern? Do I want to go for the home team? The New Orleans, Uptown. Hey, I was born uptown. I was born in Charity Hospital. Come on now. Do I go for Green Wave? Do I go for Southeastern? I went to Southeastern for 2 semesters. It was weird. It was kind of awkward. But it was a very impressive game. If you were the Tulane Green Wave, sorry Southeastern, they beat the ever-loving brakes off of y'all. Wow, man, they went uptown. They went on Canal Street and bought some Bally's and broke their Bally's off in y'all, dude. Hey, if you know, you know. everybody, get your Bally's on. Man, Tulane did the most. Oh boy. Tulane Green Wave won 52-0. You heard correctly. 5-2, 52-0. Goose egg 0. Dang, Southeastern. Bro, what was y'all doing? Man, and remember that quarterback controversy we were talking about between the two, at first two quarterbacks? Well, remember how we said that Coach Summerall said he wasn't messed up about starting a rookie, the freshman? Well, guess what? Apparently he wasn't, because that's the dude who was spinning the ball. Darian Mensah. Oh boy. Darian Mensah with 10 for 12, 205 yards, 2 TDs, and 2 carries for 14 yards. And not for nothing, Ty Thompson got in the game. He went 2 for 4 for 17 yards, 4 carries, 23 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. We're gonna have to work on the passing game, Green Wave, but it's gonna be a little bit like it was last year. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball defense. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball defense. Hey, as long as you keep putting up 52s like that, putting up and getting W's, I'm all for it. Hughes ran for 14, had 14 carries for 59 yards and 2 TDs. The transfer Williams hit with 5 for 4, 124 yards. Do you really want to see what SLU did in the stats? Nah, I didn't think you did either. Man, that's my own mother, and I didn't want to embarrass them like that. Tulane had 472 yards total to SLU's 201. Tulane had 231 passing yards to SLU's 99. The aforementioned run game. Tulane, 241 rushing yards. SLU, 102. Green Wave, 25 first downs. SLU, 14. Not very many penalties. Both teams only had seven penalties. Pretty clean game. But SLU had 2 turnovers. Green Wave, 0. Not going to win many games. Turn the ball over, brother. And the Green Wave offense had a total of 56 plays compared to only 53. So it wasn't like they didn't have the opportunity. They just didn't capitalize on it, SLU. Lions, I'm going to need you to do better, bro. I'm going to need you cats to do better. A whole lot better. At least you have tape to go and work on in the your off week. Well, not off week, but since you started early, you have a chance to go back and look at the tape. Tulane, good job. I'm going to need you to capitalize on this momentum. Ride the wave. See what I did there? Ride this wave of momentum into your next game next week. Good job, Green Wave. Uptown was partying, boy. They was acting bad uptown, man. And I don't blame you. Now, The other team, other Louisiana team that happened to be starting early, overachievers, the UL Monroe Warhawks playing against the Jackson State, Deionless Jackson State. Man, and you could tell they didn't have Deion. But to be honest, it wasn't as big as a wash as it seemed like it was. It was a very competitive game. It's a halftime. The Warhawks took over in the third quarter, and that's when it started to get a little lopsided. But ULM won 30-14. Total yards 336 to Jackson State's 287. Passing yards 132. Jackson State had 227. Rushing yards 204. Jackson State, man, they really couldn't run that ball for nothing. They only had 60 yards rushing. First downs were kind of close. 17 for ULM, 14 for Jackson State. Both teams need to cut down on these penalties, man. ULM had 9. Jackson State had 8. Not too many turnovers. Jackson State had 1 turnover. ULM had 0. So this was a pretty clean game. It's just that ULM took their opportunities and they broke the thing open when they had a chance. So more power to them, ULM. I see you, Warhawks, doing your thing. Quarterback Booty had 10 for 14, 104 yards, 1 touchdown, 8 carries for 22 yards. So put the Warhawks in the win category. Congratulations up there, ULM Monroe. Up there in Monroe. Now, most of the games we have are going on today, Saturday, like the good Lord intended. And of course, we're going to have the main event Sunday, but first we'll talk about the Saturday games. We have right here in Lafayette, the Raging Cajuns taking on Grambling. That's going on. We have the La Tech Bulldogs taking on Nicholls State. We have McNeese taking on Tarleton State. Actually, they already played. Come on, whoa, hey. Ain't that something? They played Tarleton State, and they lost 23-26. Go to find, hey, ain't that something? That's how much people pay attention to them. And those are the games that are going on today. But the game we're going to be talking about is Tiger football. LSU taking on USC Trojan, man. USC Trojans, Vegas, out there Sunday night, prime time, where LSU belongs. Yeah, man, this is a big test. Like we've been putting these first games. LSU, Brian Kelly, they have not shied away from the competition week 1. The only problem is we haven't really been winning week 1. Y'all saw what happened last year against Florida State. Oh boy. So hopefully they'll be able to right the ship, change the narrative, because a lot of eyes are going to be on that defense, and a lot of eyes are going to be on that offense too. Because, you know, elephant in the room, you're replacing a Heisman Trophy winner in Jaden Daniels. And Garrett Nussmeier, hey, I'm all aboard the Nuss bus, but man, you got some big shoes to fill, brother. Thing about it is, he's not a freshman. He's been there for a minute. So, hey, I think he's ready to go. It's just that he's got to, cut down on some of the mistakes and depend on that running game. And the running game and that offensive line, oh boy, that offensive line should be one of the top 10 offensive lines in the country. That's right, the country. Top 10 offensive line, led by number 7 on the jersey, number 1 in your heart, Will Campbell, captain. He's definitely going to be leading the charge. And let's just, as a matter of fact, let's just read off the projected depth chart for week 1. Speaking of the aforementioned offensive line, Will Campbell, Emory Jones at tackle, Miles Frazier, Garrett Delager, guard, and DJ Chester at center. Wide receivers, man, we're replacing some heavy hitters in Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas, but Kyron Lacey, Chris Hilton, CJ Daniels, those boys are up to the task. Them boys, hey, they can stay healthy, they're going to be hot. Some hot. Savion Thomas, Kyle Parker, Aaron Anderson, backing them up. Tight end. Oh, boy. Some of these defenses are going to catch it. Mason Taylor. And he's not even the tight end folks have been talking about. He's the veteran tight end, but he's not even the one everybody's been talking about. Kamorian Pimpton and Trey Dez Green. These are some big, beefy boys. So, man, the running game should be fire. And the cast is going to be Eaton, Josh Williams, John Emery, Caleb Jackson, and maybe even Caden Durham. The running back room is nice. The running back room is real nice. So if we can control the time of possession, run the rock, let Nuss use the receivers, pick and pop, get downfield, get in that red zone, put up the 7s instead of 3s, we'll be all right. Now, here's the if. That defense, boy, I hate to throw folks under the bus, but we got to. That defense kept Jaden Daniels and them from winning the dang national championship. Offense was fire. Defense, oh boy. That defense was horrible. I can't believe y'all called yourself LSU Tigers defense. I ain't never see. You know when you feel entitled and spoiled when you see a defense like that, and you're like, oh, that's not our defense, is it? We're so used to having these players. You can go down the list of players we've had. Honey Badger, Pat Pete, man, so many dudes that have gone like number 1 in the draft, in the first round of the draft. And last year was just, it gave you the skunky beer face. So, man, the defense has the talent. Trust and believe we have the talent. Defensive end, Savion Jones, Braden Swinson. Defensive tackles, Jacobian Guillory, Gio Paez. And they're going to be rotating with Dominic McKinley, Deshaun Washington, Jalen Lee, and Ahmad Bro. Linebackers, Greg Penn, Harold Poikins, and Major Burns in the star position. Went Weeks, West Weeks, The corners, as of now, Ashton Stamps, Sage Ryan, J.K. Johnson, and safeties will be Jordan Allen, Gilbert. So those are going to be your projected starters for the game. Of course, it's college, so folks are going to be rotating in and out, but those are your projected starters. We're going to need the defense to be a heck of a lot better than they were last year. Because, man, that defense was T-rash. Let's talk a little recruitment. Not just the stuff on the field. Because, first of all, let's preview the USC game. USC had a great offense. They were replacing Caleb Williams. So we're both replacing Heisman-winning quarterbacks. USC was kind of in the same situation we were. Their defense was T-rash. Now they're putting out an undersized defense compared to our big, burly offensive line with superhuman size and strength. So, can we take advantage of that by running the rock? I hope so, man. I really hope so. If you're gonna put on a small defensive front against them big boys, more power to you, bro. I hope that works out for you. But we're both gonna be looking for our defenses to take a step forward. So that's gonna be something to watch. Recruiting news. Man, a lot's been going on this offseason. Defensive line coach Bo Davis has been at work. He happened to snag a 3-star defensive tackle from Texas, Dylan Battle. And welcome back, Corey Raymond. As soon as Coach Raymond came back to the fold, he went right back to work, trying to restore DBU. Let me see. He flipped cornerback Cade Phillips from Texas, who wanted to originally play safety, but they wanted him to play, I think they wanted him to play corner. 5-star, number 1 corner from Florida, DJ Pickett. Yoink! Yoink! Got him. And we have the number 1 corner in Louisiana. So not only have we been going to other states and snagging their players, but we've been building a wall around Louisiana. As it should be. Nick Saban would be proud. Tight end Mike Tyler from South Carolina. Got him. And the only person we really missed on was safety Jonah Williams from Ball, Texas. Like he's like a hybrid dude, man. The dude plays safety and wide receiver, and he plays baseball. And he's staying there in Texas. He's going to Texas Longhorns. So that's like the only big name we really missed out on, like talking about. So more power to him. But Brian Kelly, Coach Kelly wanted to rebuild LSU, not from NIL and the transfer portal. I mean, not from the transfer portal, but through recruiting, high school, old-fashioned way. And, man, they've been at it. Corey Raymond, you know the pipeline. Hey, if you know Tiger football, you know Corey Raymond, and you know he got them connects. And he's been at it, man. Yeah, we were glad you're back. And, hey, hopefully that we can restore DBU, not just DBU, but the defense. Because, man, that thing was horrendous. It was horrendous, brother. So, like I said, Congratulations, Texas. You finally got a win. More power to you. Happy for you. Moving right along. To round things out, when we come back from the break, we're going to talk a little Pelicans. We have some Pelicans stuff that we need to get addressed. One, Joshua Bartholomew Hart. Could you please make your way to the principal's office, please? Joshua Bartholomew Hart, please make your way to the principal's office, please. We got to have a talk. And if you know, you know. If you don't know, then guess what? You'll find out when we come back from the break here on the Crescent City Connection, your new home for Louisiana sports, powered by IE Sports, your direct feed for all that is sports. Yes, sir.
Hey sports fans, do you like wine? Well, we've got the show for you. This is Let's Wine About Sports, a show where we talk about wine and sports simultaneously. From the classic Cabernet Sauvignon all the way down to the grapes that you've never even heard of before. Oh yeah, we cover it all. And we'll talk about a little bit of sports as well. Football, hockey, collegiate, women's sports, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk about it all, and we're going to whine about it all. So join me Monday at 8 p.m. on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hey, Cleveland and Columbus sports fans. This is Jen B, host of the Show of the Land on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. If you love Cleveland and Columbus sports like I do, be sure to tune in live to the Show of the Land on Tuesdays, where we will cover the Cleveland Browns, Cavs, Guardians, and Monsters. We will also talk about the Columbus Blue Jackets, Crew, Fury, and of course, the Ohio State Buckeyes. We'll also cover other colleges in the area like Akron, Kent State, Cleveland State, Mount Union, John Carroll, Baldwin Wallace, Youngstown State, among others. So like I said, if you love Cleveland and Columbus sports like I do, be sure to tune in Tuesdays to the Show of the Land with Jen B on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Back to the Crescent City Connection here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. And we're going to talk a little Pels basketball. It's the off season, not much to talk about. Still waiting to see if there are going to be any, Brandon Ingram trades or a trade for a center, this, that, and the third. It's a lot of waiting and posturing and this, that. But not for nothing, the Pelicans plan on getting together for an off-season workout, some team building. Hey, I'm here for it. Anything to help the team out, especially we got DeJounte Murray, and we have so much upheaval losing Najee Marshall and a lot of the depth we had uh, off the bench, or as we like to call them, the second line. So there's a lot of new faces on the team that we need to come up to speed, especially the rookies too. So there's going to be a lot of, this team building thing is much needed, and I'm glad to see them taking leadership. Zion Williamson looking slim. Oh boy, I don't know how I feel about that because I want him to be healthy to where he can play a whole season, but I don't want him to lose that advantage he has because he's only 6'6", but he's bullying dudes that are like 7'2". He's punking these dudes out in the paint. I don't want him to lose that, but I do want him to be able to, remain healthy for the whole season. So it's a little bit of a trade-off, But I hope that works out though. Let's see. I wanted to get into, we're just off the heels of the Olympics, and we didn't really have any, players in the Olympics, but the Pelicans were represented by Jose GTA Grand Theft Alvarado playing for Puerto Rico. And he showed out. They didn't place over there, but he showed out. Jose was averaging 16 points, 3.8 rebounds, 3 assists. Man was showing out. And then you had our new Pelican center/forward Daniel Tice was out there repping for Germany, 6.3 points averaging with 4.1 rebounds. So he was out here playing starter minutes, man. If we can get a little bit of that from him, because he looked like, the way things are going, he may be, barring a trade or anything, he may be the projected starter for the Pelicans. If we can get this type of growth from Jose leading that bench mob, because we don't know who's going to be coming off the bench. We don't know if Brandon Ingram's going to be coming off the bench, Trey Murphy, maybe CJ coming off the bench, because we got DeJounte now. We don't know who's going to be coming off the bench. But if we can have that reliable, steady hand from GTA putting up these starting caliber type minutes, it doesn't do anything. It does nothing but better the team. Because you have a dude who is playing international talent at the highest level in the Olympics, balling out, coming off of our bench. And I'm here for it, man. I'm 100% here. I'm here for a CJ and Jose backcourt coming off the bench. I'm 100% here for that. I'm here for that. So hopefully they can, add some depth. They already added depth. Jose was always like, him and Najee were the leaders of the bench squad. They were the heart and soul. To lose Najee like that, he was our goon, man. That dude, he embodied what New Orleans was, man. He was 100% goon squad. And to lose him and Jose were like the Bash brothers, man. If you remember the Mighty Ducks, man, Jose and Najee were like the Bash brothers. If you want to square up, you got the little one and you got the big one. You want to square up, you got to have to go through them, man. They were 100% New Orleans. And it's going to be hard to lose Najee. But, man, Jose stepping things up, Jose and CJ backcourt is what's best for business, I feel. So we'll see how much he's leveled up over the summer. Now, let's talk BI. Brandon Ingram. Sham Charania of I believe the Athletic, or formerly of the Athletic. Man, I think he's still with them. He said the BI is looking for between $40 and $50 million extension No, no way, brother. The Pels and a lot of Pels are not comfortable with giving him that type of money, and apparently neither are a lot of teams, because a lot of teams have voiced their interest in Brandon Ingram, but nobody's pulled the trigger. One of many teams has been the Utah Jazz. They gave their star Lauri Markkanen, who of course his name was out there on trade talks and trade rumors, and they gave him an extension. What does that mean for Brandon Ingram? Well, there's nobody's trading for Lauri Markkanen now, of course, but there is a possibility that they could trade for Brandon Ingram to put with Lauri Markkanen, because they went and drafted they went and drafted center Kyle Filipowski in the draft, which kind of makes hold on a second, which makes their center kind of expendable. Now, if they make this trade happen, because one, we need a center and we're trying to move Ingram. They have an abundance of centers and they would like to have Ingram. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? The Jazz could quite possibly have Lauri Markkanen, Jordan Clarkson, Keontae George, Colin Sexton, Kyle Filipowski, and perhaps Brandon Ingram. If we get a center, we get the starting center we need. They get the secondary, third tier scorer they need. Everybody's happy. Only problem is you're talking about two GMs that don't want to lose in a trade scenario. Danny Ainge loves running people's pockets inside out. So what is he asking for exactly? And what are the Pelicans asking for exactly? Hopefully they are trying to do business, because we need a center. That's the only piece we're missing is a center. And we hate to see B.I. walk for nothing. Because, we still have a whole season. Don't get me wrong. We still have a whole season. And he could ball out. And he could up his stock again. And come trade deadline, folks may come a-calling. They want to make that playoff push. You know teams do it every year. Around trade deadline, folks start getting hot. And especially in the West, everybody's out here, pew, 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 pew. It's a shootout trying to get into it's like a game and a half between teams, between being in the play-in and being in the playoffs. So folks will come a-calling. We just got to be patient. But I like to get it done sooner rather than later. That's just me, though. Gulf Coast Sports Entertainment Network is where the Pelicans games, the new home for the Pelicans games. No longer Bally Sports. We talked about this before, but that's the name of the network. It's going to be more of a network TV type deal, not cable. So hopefully the Pelicans are going to announce how we can watch said channel, and they're going to be adding in perhaps it's going to be 65 games, possible high school games, prep football games, and perhaps Birmingham Squadron games, the G League affiliate, which would be cool. It'd be cool to see some of those dudes. If we move Misi down there, the rookie, and Reeves, the rookie, if we happen to move them down there to Birmingham, we'd like to see them develop, to see what's going on over there. Prep football. We all love prep football. It'd be nice to see, some of those young high school kids get their shine on. instead of just, the playoff time. So hopefully the Pelicans announce where and how we can watch the Gulf Coast Network, because we love the support, and of course we'd like to support the Pelicans 100%. Now, let's talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. What a lot of you are probably still here for, if you've been listening from the beginning, you're probably still here for this. I mentioned it earlier. I'm going to need one Joshua Bartholomew Hart to come to the front of the classroom. We got to have a talk, sir. Josh Hart, if you've been following the Pelicans for a while, he came to us via the Anthony Davis trade, along with Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram. Since day one, he ingratiated himself with the squad, with the New Orleans fan base. His enthusiasm, he was so amped up and jazzed on day one. He was happy to be here, and he showed it. And he showed out for the not only for the team on court, but off the court in the community. And we loved it. So when we traded him for CJ McCollum, that really hurt a lot of Pelicans fans. Like, for weeks, months, even till last year, folks online were still trying to find ways to trade for him. Man, we could trade Portland. We could trade him them crummy Milwaukee picks to get Josh Hart back. Folks were coming up with all kinds of scenarios to get Josh Hart back because we loved him that much. Until now. Most recently, since he's been back in New York, he's got around his Villanova buddies, Hardenstein and Jalen Brunson. And Brunson and him have a new podcast out. And they happen to have a guest, one Dwayne Carter. You may know him as Lil Wayne. I know him as my arch nemesis. And of course, we all know that Lil Wayne is from New Orleans, but he's a Green Bay Packers fan. Whatever. I don't know what Josh Hart was trying to do, because he's a huge Lil Wayne fan. He was talking about that he really wasn't that big of New Orleans Pelicans and Saints and all that other stuff, but he wanted to drive around New Orleans blasting Lil Wayne. What a mark! You just because you're sitting next to Lil Wayne, you're gonna fanboy out. So he made the comments, and I quote, "I don't think you'll ever hear someone say they were excited to be traded to New Orleans. I'm sorry. My memory is getting a little shaky these days, me getting older and stuff. But I clearly remember you going on IG and posting a video of you pulling out a New Orleans Pelicans hat the day you got traded, probably even before you got traded. You either went to Dick's Sporting Goods Academy someplace and bought you a Pelicans hat, or your agent sent you a Pelicans hat. Quick, fast, in a hurry. You had that hat on the day you got traded. Before when the rest of it, the public just found out. And you were all hyped up and smiling and giggly googly goo. You may not remember, but Pepperidge Farms remembers. So all of a sudden you get not right next, you get around your homie Brunson and your hero Lil Wayne, and you wanna, man, don't nobody want to play in New Orleans. Don't nobody want to play in New Orleans like that. New Orleans sucks. Because you're still butthurt we traded you. Luckily, somebody put on their cape and decided to come to the rescue. One DeJounte Murray. And he replied, and I quote, I can't relate. Nola, I've been smiling since that MF trade happened. On my mama. Time out. When you say on my mama, you mean that. This cat said on my mama. He ain't been, ever since this dude came in, like I haven't really been, I followed DeJounte Murray since San Antonio because he beat out B.I., Brandon Ingram, in making the All-Star team that year. And I was like, who's DeJounte Murray? Ever since then, he's made a name for himself. Got traded to Atlanta, and he's been he's been Trae Young's tag team partner over there. Now things kind of rocky over there between coaches getting fired and trade talks about him and Young. So it is what it is. But he's here in New Orleans now. Ever since he's been traded, since the introduction, the dude's been 10 toes. He's been New Orleans. He's so, the way he talks, he's like he means business. He wants to be defensive play, one of the defensive, all pros of the NBA. I'm like, time out. You're playing with a dude who we're trying to get known for his defense. And one Herbert Keyshawn Jones. You two can be best friends. Real talk. You two need to go talk, hang out. And he's been talking to leadership. He said, hey, I know this is Zion Williams team. And I'm trying to make them better. I'm like, I'm trying to make them better. So DeJounte Murray coming out and defending New Orleans, defending the Pelicans against the slander of Josh Hart. DeJounte Murray, if there's one thing you didn't know, that apparently Josh Hart forgot, if you love New Orleans will love you back, brother. We stand up for our dudes. We stand up for our team. We stand up for our players. And Josh Hart forgot about that. When Josh Hart got traded, first home game against the Pelicans, after that game, after we waxed Portland, the whole Pelicans team, street clothes, bench dudes, starters, everybody got up and went and met that dude on the other side of the court and gave that man a hug and showed love to that dude. And there was not a dry eye in the house. That's how much, like, New Orleans goes down. And they gave that man a standing O. And that's how much New Orleans rides for their players. When they put their arms around you, they love you. And apparently Josh Hart forgot about that. He got to New York, got around his buddies from Villanova, and started getting big head. Hey, it is what it is. But DeJounte Murray, one thing you need to know, brother, that right there is going to go a long way with the Pelicans fans. Now, all you got to do is run the point and put some of that old DeJounte from San Antonio with what we got cooking here in New Orleans. And I can't wait to see it, and I hope it works out. Because, man, we know you could be a dog, dude. You could be the missing piece, man. I'm just saying, bro. But that's going to wrap things up for here. Josh Hart and Kick Rocks. No hard feelings. It's all love. It's all sport. It's love. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap things up for us here at the Crescent City Connection. Next week, here, same bad time, same bad channel, 12 p.m. Central Time. We're going to probably be talking about what happened to fall out of UNC and LSU. We're going to be preparing for some new, the Saints. The Saints are coming. The Saints are coming. If you want to do Bless You Boys, remember that one? The old WWL theme, Bless You Boys? We need to run that back. But we'll be preparing for week 1 against the Carolina Panthers. We're going to talk about that and some more college. Week 2, baby. But as always, I'd like to thank you for joining us here at the Crescent City Connection on IE Sports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports. Ladies and gentlemen, follow us on our socials on X, Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, wherever. Listen to us here on Spreaker, YouTube, IG, Apple iHeartRadio, all those beautiful podcast locations. When you get your beautiful podcast, we're on there too. We're climbing up the ladder, baby. And you can find me on X, on Twitter X. Not on X, but on Twitter X. At WhoIsTFizzle. And, of course, Crescent City _I. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you for joining us. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We're trying to grow to be the new home for Louisiana sports. The Crescent City Connection with your boy, me, T5, on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Good day, God bless.